She's a fighter, got that fire. When you thought she'd fade away, throws a fist up as she gets up, feeling stronger every day. When she gets down on her knees, she finds the courage to believe. She's a fighter who inspires me.
Hi, welcome to this episode of Inspired with Takiya LaShawn. I'm your host, Takiya LaShawn Smith, and in this new episode, we are going to focus on inspiration, women's empowerment, and all things beautiful. As you know, I've been a guest host of WHHI TV for the last 2 years and have had the phenomenal opportunity of doing so many things here in Beaufort County with so many wonderful people. Inspired with Takiya LaShawn seeks to uplift, encourage, empower, and just reach lives to make change and inspire hope. In this episode, we're going to feature Brittany Hiller of Brittany Hiller Yoga. But before we get started, I want to take you on a journey. Imagine a young lady, a child. Ever since I was a child, as far back as I can remember, I've always been told, Takiya, you talk too much. Takiya, you have so much to say. Takiya, Takiya, Takiya. So exactly what we're doing here is going to talk. We're going to use this as a platform, as a media outlet to change lives. Now, let's start with my story, just so I can introduce myself to you, the viewer, so you understand my purpose, you understand my passion, you understand my vision, and what inspired means to me. Several years ago, not very long ago, 8 years ago to be exact, I myself was homeless. Many of you around Beaufort County may know my story. Many of you may not know my story. But I'm a mother of two, a single mother. I'm a survivor, and I am definitely have become a women's advocate. I found myself in a situation, in a relationship, made some bad choices, some bad decisions that caused me to get in a relationship that was not healthy. It did not produce a conducive environment that was good for my children and I. The end result of escaping that relationship was homelessness. I'd found myself in a position of helplessness and hopelessness, and the only way out was to leave everything behind. Everything which meant my business, everything which meant my home, everything which meant my vehicles. But I knew that in order to have a fresh start, what I needed to do was to leave. Unfortunately, again, we ended up homeless. We ended up living in a barn right here in Beaufort County. A lot of people never knew this. A lot of people never knew my story. A lot of people never knew the trials that I was enduring or what I was going through. All they knew was I kept a smile on my face and I continued to live my life as best as I could, which meant attending church, working, holding down a job. But at the end of every day, I and my children went home and slept in a horse trailer. We'll get more in detail as far as how this came about, where the barn was. A lot of people might be asking, well, whose barn did you live in? Those are not the important things. The important factors in this story is that I overcame, and I basically took everything that I went through and everything that I endured. Instead of giving up and giving in and calling it quits, I determined and purposed that I was going to use my story to create a pathway to my own personal success. And in the pain that I've experienced in the past, what I've done is created this platform here, Inspired with Takiya LaShawn, so that I can reach lives, share stories. And on my panel, what I intend to do is have women that have overcome, women that have endured and succeeded in defeating all odds, whether it be terminal illness, addiction, drug abuse, alcohol, divorce, survivors. So the sky's the limit, but the women on this show are overcomers, they are fighters, they are survivors. They are women right here in Beaufort County and the surrounding area that faces that you see every day. They're mothers, they're daughters, they're your sisters, they're your friends, they're your bosses. They may be just the girl next door, but you never know the story that every woman has. And we want to share our stories. And again, just to touch your life, inspire you, and encourage you. When you look up the word inspire, it means to breathe into, to give life, to promote. And so as we seek to inspire you, We hope that in watching these shows that you will be touched and your life will be changed for the better. Now, getting back to my story. Basically, I am now an author, an entrepreneur, a mentor, a columnist, and now a TV talk show host. It's been a phenomenal path. It's been ups, it's been downs, lots of tears, a lot of pain, a lot of struggles, a lot of joy, and a lot of happiness. But I have come to love and not resent my past. I have come to be honored to be someone that can be placed in front of you to share my story, to tell you what I've been through, to show you that you don't have to give up, that you don't have to quit, that you don't have to give in, and to know that if I did it with all odds stacked against me, because believe me, they were stacked against me, my being homeless is just the tip of the iceberg. Again, I'm a survivor. I escaped an abusive relationship. I've gone through a lot of things in my childhood. I've made a lot of bad decisions, a lot of bad choices, but I use them for the better so that, again, God can bring me to this moment right here to share with you and touch your heart and, again, change your life. Thank you so much for tuning into this first episode. I really appreciate the views. I pray that you, again, are inspired, that your life is touched for the better. I want you to know that this is going to be a form of outreach, not just a sit back and watch as we tell our stories, but we want the viewers, again, to be interactive. We're going to have outreach within the community, businesses. You may be a business owner that's sitting watching saying, how can I plug in? How can I help? How can I give back? We want to have outreach because not only do we want to share our story, but it is our hope that, again, you have a way and a platform and a way that someone can come to you and help you to change yourself. Whether it be helping you to get out of a situation where you may be enduring one of the obstacles that I mentioned. I may not have mentioned your obstacle. Again, everyone has a story, and we just want you to know that you are not alone. I want you to know that you are not alone. There's always hope. I've once heard it said that we should never leave a person in the way that we found them. We can look at that in two ways, to the negative or to the positive. If you were to meet someone on the street and they were struggling, hurting, homeless, without clothes, hungry, would you walk away and leave them? Or would you offer them money, food, shelter, even a hug? What about just a smile? You never know how far just telling someone, acknowledging them, saying, hey, I'm thinking about you, can really uplift and encourage someone. We can also use that's in the positive sense. We can also use it to the negative. If you were to meet someone in that same situation, would you look the other way? Would you ignore them? Would you pretend you didn't see it? I pray that it would be the former and not the latter. So again, that's what Inspired with Takiya LaShawn seeks to do. I will not look the other way. I thank you again so much for tuning in. I just pray that your lives will be changed for the better. If there's anyone that you know, maybe your life is great, maybe you're good, maybe it's wonderful, don't change the channel, pass it along, get the word out, let people know what we are doing here. And we, again, are just really excited. I am personally excited just to create an atmosphere that is conducive to expanding your horizons, uplifting you, giving you the strength that you need, and just telling you you're going to make it, you're going to be okay. Because I did.